Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Phantasy Star Online 2. So, I've got kind of a big show lined up for us here today, starting here with this urgent quest that's coming up. Now, you might be noticing that my level is currently 56, and that's because I'm actually playing on an alt currently. I've gotten several alt characters since the launch of the game, and so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be tackling, through a lot of this, the Enemy Extermination missions that we have here, and that's all going to start with the urgent quest that's going to be popping up in just a moment here. Basically, I need to take down a total of 100 enemies, and then once I clear through one of those, then we're going to switch over to another character and just kind of keep going, and then once the urgent quest is over, we'll then kind of move into doing more regular missions. Also lined up today, I also want to try soloing the new urgent quest that has come out. Probably going to be able to do it. I don't see any reasons why I wouldn't be able to do it given the lower difficulty. But, you know, I just want to do it for fun here over on the North American servers. And, yeah, so this urgent quest should be popping up any second here. Actually, it looks like it just went live. So we're actually going to start this up on super hard because I don't have a high enough level for extremely hard. But once again, I'm on one of my alts right now, so that really doesn't matter to me. Let's go ahead and grab a Shift to Drink ZX. And let's get down there.
Emergency mission alert. Large-scale deployment operation in progress. All Arks Ops, report to the quest counter to join the mission.
We got 12 players, no reason not to get this going here. Since I'm going to be swapping in and out on characters here, I'm not going to be joining any parties for this one. Now, if there are enough players around, the other thing I want to do is I want to check out the Challenge Mode Strike mission, because there's been a change between the Japanese version and the North American version that I want to point out to you. But let's get started with this here, and then we'll pick that up a little bit later today. And you're probably also wondering, why do I have an alt that looks like my main character? And I don't know what's going on with the alerts today. They've just been going off and off for a while now. Anyway, basically, I'm kind of taking this this character as sort of a failed timeline sort of situation here. You'll see some of the other characters I've got. I think I've introduced everybody to everyone at this point, but we'll see if that actually is the case. I'll turn the audio down just a little bit here, just so you can hear me a little bit better. Yeah, that should be better. And take a look at that. We're actually already done with the enemy extermination here. I'll go ahead and run through this mission, just because when it comes to urgent quests, the game does have something in place whereby if you drop out of too many of them in a row, it will knock you offline temporarily, so I don't want to get hit with that. But yeah, I'm not really even that concerned with necessarily leveling this character up. Eventually, we'll get to the point where they will get leveled up, but it's not a priority for me. Once again, this is just an alt character that I'm using basically just for storage, for items, and then to complete the weekly missions on it as well. And by completing those weekly missions, that's kind of where you get the main source of your Meseta per week, unless you're big on, like, playing the market and such. So having 12 characters is definitely one way to get a lot, and this goes back to something I've been saying for a while, and that is that I found that the best way to play this game smartly when it comes to, you know, spending any kind of money in it is to go for the stuff that's going to be around permanently, rather than something that's just like a temporary addition. The only real temporary thing that I would advocate for would be getting the premium service, but beyond that, look for things that are going to really add to your account permanently, like getting extra characters, expanding how many character item slots you have, and things like that. That way, you know, you're always going to have those. It's not going to be something temporary, like, say, just an item that you get out of, like, the AC scratch. You just get a lot more value from your money by sticking to the more permanent additions. I'll grab that weapon. I am trying to at least scoop up what 9 stars I can at this point, for the purposes of crafting, which will be coming up in episode 4. But we're also still a little bit a ways from that. I'm thinking what the timeline is at this point is we just got the new Profound Darkness fight this week. Next week is probably going to be one of the off weeks, where we're not going to get anything new, and that's kind of the general cycle that we've seen. And then the week after that, we're probably going to get Tower Defense 4. And I think, based on what I was seeing in the data, I think it's called Tower Defense Ending, or something like that. So we'll see what it's actually called, but once that one comes out, that's basically the end of episode 3, unless Sega decides they want to roll out one more thing, like, say, a limited quest or something like that. So we'll see if they do decide to do something like that. But as of right now, it looks like, if I look at the calendar, it looks like we're going to be getting episode 4 on August 4th, at the earliest. But once again, that's going to depend upon if Sega decides to run any other special events, any other urgent quests beyond what we've got currently, as sort of the minimum to get to episode 4. So we're essentially one more urgent quest away after what we got this week. And that would be, that would actually go a long way towards helping them keep with their schedule that they wanted to bring out both episode 4 and episode 5 in Q3. Okay, I need to check if I've got automate set up on this character, because that did not trigger. Where is this guy going? He's headed backwards in the stage. Okay, I need to make a little space here. We'll put these away, and we'll put these away. Alright, let's catch up with the group.
Emergency! Code! Explosion!
Alright, we have our Nova Ringadaro. We've actually had a bunch of rare enemies show up in this one. So that goes a long way towards getting this character leveled up, even if that's not one of my priorities.
Completed!
Alright. Let's take out the Falls Angel.
Emergency! Code! Due!
I think on this character I prioritize getting my Fury stance together before the rest of my defenses, so that's why I don't have access to the some of my Hunter abilities. Got a bunch of players down here. Let's get them up. Alright, down goes the Falls Angel. And let's go ahead and collect on these missions here. And we'll scarf down the discs that we can. Alright, let's swap over to another character. Alright, so Lucia I already did earlier. So yeah. Basically, I got a bunch of alts here, including some, how should we say, other Bright Stars that are kind of going through their own time loops, as it were. So, we've got this green one over here as well, which is an interesting story if you know, if you ever remember the Red vs. Blue Halo series at all. Actually, it looks like they are up next on the list here, so let's go ahead and hop onto them.
Emergency mission alert. Large-scale deployment operation in progress. All
And
ARCs
we're gonna make our way
report
over
the
to
quest counter to join the mission.
the gate area. That's right, not this door. I just want to check and make sure they've got everything they're going to need. I know I need to pick up another sword for them real quick. And yeah, it looks like all the points are distributed.
Hello there.
Good on items. Let's grab the Ray Sword.
Which quest are you up for?
And let's get this going super hard. Shift to drink ZX. And let's get down there. So yeah, aside from the Enemy Extermination, which is the main one I'm going after right now, there's also this one for Take Orders, Make Even More Meseta. For anybody that we clear the urgent quest on this character, or anyone that we clear it on through this mission, we're just going to head over to Franca's Cafe and I'll collect on Yerx's client orders there. For anyone else, I'm going to check out any client orders that these other characters have. So like, for instance, if I'm able to combine some things together, let's see, on this character, I could combine Suppress Voldragon with Volcanic Caves Exploration, and take care of the Meseta I would need to then get 1,000,000 Meseta from the client orders. So yeah, a good portion of my week at this point is just rotating through each of the characters, completing as many of the weekly missions that I can, just to get Meseta from each of those. That adds up to a cool 12 million at a minimum each week. But again, you are paying for the extra characters. Don't get me wrong, but once again, these are permanent additions to your account, and those are the kind of things I would advocate that players do if they're going to do anything in terms of spending money on this game. Now, eventually that maximum should get expanded, I think, to 20 and then 30 characters. I'm probably not going to take it that far, if I'm going to be honest. At that point, I'm just going to be more completing missions rather than enjoying the game on my main. We'll have to see how things go. The market is also still in the process of settling in terms of how much things are going to cost in the future. There's some costumes that I bought early on for like around 100 to 150,000 Meseta that are now selling for like 6 million Meseta. So I have no arguments about that, in that the investments I made early on are definitely paying off now. But just looking at the timing of how things are going here, it looks like we'll probably be able to get one more run-in on this urgent quest before it's over. Now, given that I'm on an alt here, I can't necessarily play just completely careless here. I do have to be somewhat careful, even though this is a lower difficulty. There's still a chance that I could get knocked down pretty hard.
Explosion!
Alright, we got the Wolf Garda here. And down they go.
Completed.
Alright, we're just waiting for the gateway to open up here. There we go.
Emergency. Code. Explosion.
Another Dark Agrani. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, it used to be back in the day, you had to actually take out the Dark Agrani's legs before going for its weak point, but ever since they added in the double jump for all characters, there's just like no point in doing that anymore. Alright, moving on, we got the Zeshra coming up after this group.
Emergency. Code. Explosion.
So what that player is talking about is how the pitch keeps changing. It actually occurs whenever an infection happens, like you're seeing on some of these Golradas here. Oh, nice. His head came right out to greet me as I was going off on one of my photon arcs there. Alright, down goes the
Completed.
Rig Trader, actually. I guess I actually don't have crosscut on this character yet, so we'll go ahead and pop that disc and get that added to the sub-palette. Oh, where do I like to put that? I think I put it at number 7. And then, did I have anything else I wanted? No, I think I'm good. Oh wait, I do actually need the Summoner's Mark, now that I think about it. Summoner's Mark, and then we can put the Hunter Physique over there. There we go.
Completed.
Now, I will say, thanks to the limited missions, it's nice that we're getting all these Salon passes. There's another good thing that comes out of the limited missions currently, and that has to do with being able to get additional Tri-Boost plus 100%, as well as glory badges. And I think I talked about this previously. For each character that you have, you can get 30 glory badges by winning a round of Blackniak each day. Where's he going? Over here. Oh, he turned to the right. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, you still gotta kind of be careful if you can. But we already accomplished what we were looking to accomplish in here. That was to take out 100 enemies. We're now going to head back up to the gateway ship, and we're going to make our way over to Franca's Cafe, so I can hand in those client orders.
Good morning.
May I help you with something?
Alright, so Nevershroom. And then let's also do the Amduskian Dragon Scale. And that clears the other one. So now we just hand in these missions. And we can put the Meseta away in the bank and move on to the next character. Alright, looks like we got Desler next here.
Emergency mission alert. Large-scale deployment operation in progress. All ARCS ops, report to the quest counter to join the mission.
Alright, and we can technically also just hop into there from right here. So, shift to drink ZX. Sounds like somebody just leveled up there. Alright, so looks like we got 12 players. Let's get this started.
Emergency mission alert. Large-scale deployment operation in progress. All ARCS ops, report to the quest counter to join the mission.
And here we go. Yep, so this is the last run of this, and given that, I'm probably only going to stick in this one until I actually get the mission completed here. Which should be in just a moment or two here. Alright, looks like that's it, so let's go ahead and drop out. Now that we've got that mission completed. And let's make our way over to Franca's Cafe. And we will do 2 more client orders from Yerps.
Farewell then.
Alright, let's collect on these rewards. Nice, Desler's at level 58 now. Okay, so, the other thing I want to do is I want to check, and yes, I do see that the star gems are ready to be collected here. So we'll go ahead and do that. There are costumes that you can get star gems just by wearing the costumes. You usually get them out of the AC scratch. And now that they've gone through a bunch, let's go ahead and grab a bunch more, put them onto the character, and we're going to swap on one of the new ones here. And we'll put the rest of them back in the bank. And just for instance here, if we take a look here, this is just some of what I've been able to make recently by basically selling some of those costumes I got early on. Market is in flux right now, so I don't know how much longer things are going to be like this. Some costumes are selling for like 3 times more what they used to be when the service first launched in North America. But, you know what? I'm glad that I'm able to make bank out of some of this stuff. It's nice that my investments are paying off here. Alright, so that's all set. Let's go ahead and deposit the Meseta. And come to think of it, I think we need to hop back onto the other Brightstar real quick and deposit their Meseta as well. So we will do that first here before we do anything else. So this one here. Yeah, so they've got 1,750,000. I usually like to keep about 60,000 or so, 70,000, just so that they have some money to work with whenever I log on to the character again. But for the most part, they don't need much more than that for like any initial drinks that they might need, or mates that they might need for healing. Alright, let's switch on to my main at this point here, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at doing a trigger quest here. But the special thing about doing this trigger quest is we're going to be doing this solo, rather than with a group. So, let me find a block that's kind of quiet to set this up in. Actually, it looks like 49 is pretty quiet right now. Alright, and before we did anything else, I wanted to grab one of my Reset All Skill Tree passes. Because right now, I've got a defensive-based
What would you like to do?
setup, and I want to change that to a Fury loadout instead. So we'll go ahead and pop this. And, alright, so let's go ahead and learn class skills. Grab all of these. Hunter Focus Boost. Charge Parry. And then let's start heading down the tree. We need 3 points in here, so I can get to automate half. And then 2 more points into here. Perfect attack bonus. Fury stance. Perfect attack bonus 2. Critical Fury. Perfect Fury bonus. Fury stance up 2. Fury stance up 1. Okay, that leaves us with 14 points. Usually what I do is I go here. I grab 5 points in the Hunter Physique, leaving me with 6 points now. I grab the All Guard. I grab the Sword Focus. The Wired Lance Focus. That leaves me with 3 points. Now, I don't have enough points to get down to Warbrave at this point, which would grant me an extra damage boost based on how many or how many enemies are affected by Warcry, so that's not an option. So what I typically do at this point, since I can't get like a full boost out of like a melee power-up, or things like that. Usually what I do, instead, is I put a point into Iron Will, and then 2 points into Sidestep Plus. And that's basically my loadout for Hunter. Now, under Fighter, it's a little bit different here. Let's grab all these. And then we need to start making our way down first. Alright, so I grab Valiant Stance, since usually I'm going to be in front of enemies. And then I'll grab Adrenaline, Tech Arc's Perfect Attack Bonus, and the combo save, although I don't usually get a ton of usage out of that. I still grab it because I end up with extra points in the end. Deadline Slayer takes me down to Photon Slayer. Since I've got Automate, these two never really come into play for me. And since I'm not a main for Fighter, neither is going to be Overload. So that still leaves me with a bunch of points to use up here. So let's go ahead and start putting points into the melee power up. And I can't use Critical Strike since that's main class only. When I do play Fighter as my main, I usually just have a sword equipped, so none of these really help me out. Status elements really don't ever come into play until level 80 comes out, because there's a special, there's another thing that's going to unlock over here for that, which will give that more usage for me. Once again, Half-Line Boost doesn't come into play either, so really the rest of these points are kind of mine to use at this point. And so, given that, what I would do is I would put 50 points, or 10 points into a Dexterity up, just so I can bring up my minimum attack damage. And then, there really isn't anything else here. I mean, Wise Stance would be nice if I was behind characters, but I really am not usually when I'm playing this class combination. Really, it's a toss-up, I think, between HP up and Sidestep Plus. Let me just make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything else. I mean, I could, for instance, maybe grab a Half-Line Slayer to get me into Crazy Beat, but at the same time, usually I'm taking care of status ailments pretty quickly anyway. So Yeah, I'm thinking let's go with the HP up in this particular case here. Alright, so that completes the build. Now, in terms of the gear I've got my Slave Caliber, but I've also got my Lightning Espada. And the reason I've got the Lightning Espada on me as well is so that I can heal myself as I'm attacking the Profound Darkness. And then, just in case it does happen to change, get weakness to Wired Lance, I've also got the Lance Revolutio. But at the same point, it doesn't... I don't know if it's going to do as much damage. I don't know if it's going to... If that weakness gets added, if it's really going to be worth it in the end. In case I need to heal myself briefly and I just can't get Lightning Espada to connect for any reason, I've also got a Haku Senju version 2. This has a built-in Resta, which is nice for being able to just heal myself. And then I've also got, of course, a bunch of mates as well that are going to help me with this. Let me actually make sure I'm fully stocked on everything before we get this started.
Good to prepare before setting off. Thank you very much.
Alright. And then I've also got this Wired Lance here that has a built-in shift, so that will help me with my damage as well. Alright, I think we are just about ready. Yeah, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. I need the trigger, though. And that is right here.
Which quest would you like?
Alright, so Trigger Quest, Baron Blossom, Destroyer of All. Once again, I'm just doing this for fun, since we don't actually have the solo trigger version available in the game currently. Oh, I should have password protected this thing, actually. Let me do that real quick. There we go. Alright, let's get in there. Yeah, I'm soloing him. I just want to have some fun today. I mean, there's always the solo triggers on the Japanese side, but we don't have that here on the North American side, so I'm just having some fun here. Let's see. I think I've got everything I need. Soul Atomizer. Yep, I'm full on those. Don't have my Beach Shade. That would be a better thing to have. Okay, why not? I'll go ahead and grab a Stir Fry as well. Oh, and I just realized I forgot my Alliance buff, and I don't think there's enough time before the trigger runs out. All right, so I'm that's not really cheating. That's I forgot to grab the tree, and I'm replacing the damage with with an item instead. All right. Okay, so Stir Fry. Alright, so we've got the Arcs buff going. Let's heal up. And let's get this going.
You will soon be teleported to the front lines. Your objective is to eradicate Dark Falls Gemini and open a path to the Profound Darkness. You'll be facing one of the Dark Falls Collective. We have no idea how powerful it is, so be careful. Do whatever it takes to come back safely.
Alright, here we go.
Your Majesty, code due.
Alright, there goes one of his legs. Let's get on the other. Yeah, and plus the timer is not as strict in this version. This is actually the Profound Darkness fight before it actually got boosted in Episode 4, so that kind of makes this even easier. This is a Hunter-Fighter combination class. Hunter is the main, Fighter as the subclass. Alright, onto the tongue. So Jellyfish, I would say some of that has to do with just kind of knowing enemy position, knowing how far out their range is, and things like that. And then just making sure you're wearing appropriate gear as well. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's where appropriate gear would come into play. Alright, there's another leg. So, part of the reason I ever had Summoner in the first place was because it had access to Resta. But now that I have access to this weapon here, this version 2 weapon, I don't need it anymore. Combine that with this Wired Lance, which gives me access to Shifta. It's, I mean, the main reasons I had Summoner in the first place are kind of gone at this point. The only thing that really Summoner has left for me now is the auto HP regeneration. Alright, they're about to take off. I popped my Massive Hunter there, so that I could, so that those cars there weren't going to interrupt my attacks. Alright, he's speeding up a little bit. But it's not that bad yet. Yep, now they're open to attack. Okay, there's one of the legs. That leaves one to go. I am stuck in a combo here. Thank goodness for Automate. Alright, they're taking off again. To answer your question there, Jellyfish, I would say until you're a little bit more experienced with the game, I would actually recommend Hunter Fighter instead. Fighter Hunter is more of a glass cannon than Hunter, or rather Fighter Hunter is more of a glass cannon kind of build than Hunter Fighter is. So if you basically, you really need to know how enemy attacks are going to affect you to play that class effectively, especially once you take Overload, which is one of the main abilities, which essentially cuts your HP to a quarter of what it was. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Hunter Fighter instead of Fighter Hunter. At least initially, until you're more experienced with the game. I will refresh those in a little bit. Alright, we are on to the last tongue phase. Oh, at some point I had taken my soul atomizer off my bar. Hang on. There we go. Yes, Hunter over Fighter, Hunter Fighter over Fighter Hunter. It's a bit more of a, Fighter Hunter is more of a glass cannon build, so if especially when you take the Overload ability, which cuts your HP to a quarter of what its max is, that's going to cause you to go down a lot more if you don't know how enemies attack. Alright, Gemini is just about down, and then we'll be able to focus on the Profound Darkness after that. There they go. Alright, now what I will say is when it comes to that one phase that's right before the end, I'm probably not going to be able to take that guy out before the time limit goes out. So I will be popping my my half-scape doll at that point. But let's get up here.
The path to the profound darkness has been opened. All that's left is to defeat it. We can provide no specific orders. Fight valiantly and return alive. Period.
Alright, switch to this weapon here. And I'm up front so I can get an early hit on the Profound Darkness. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but what can I say? I like to get it done. Plus, it refreshes my my sword focus.
Emergency code due.
Wendell, to answer your question about weapons for Hunter Braver, your best bet, given that Hunter is the main there, you would probably want to stick with Sword, and then maybe have a backup Wired Lance. So you might be remembering now that I said I grabbed that Lightning Espada as well, and this is where I'm using that, so I can regain my health as I continue to fight the Profound Darkness here. I can show you the build that I'm using here once we're out of here. Once again, this is one of those times I wish I had access to an HP meter for the boss. Just so I could know how much progress I've actually made towards taking it out. But at least I am starting to break some of its parts here. pop a Photon Blast just so we can get a little bit more damage going out here. Yeah, that attack right there is just about watching the ground. Alright, we finally got a break here. Alright, maximum HP has been reduced. I'm not going to deal with that just quite yet here. We still got a lot more battle to go here. Alright, we're on to phase 2. Good. Alright, what did you become weak to? Just my luck, it actually was the Wired Lance. I was expecting him to bring out his bits, but they actually don't show up in this version, at this phase. that attack right there with the orbs can be one of the more dangerous attacks if you don't know how to deal with it. Just because that one essentially locks you in place from moving for a brief time. Alright, Xiao is coming up, so looks like we are at least a good portion of the way through Phase 2 now. But yeah, a lot of this fight is just about knowing how the enemy is going to attack, and essentially just keeping a good eye on them. If you lose track of where they are, they're going to hit you hard. Alright, that was nice that I could stack up a bunch of damage there. Alright, they're gonna come down. It was that last attack and this attack that are kind of the time wasters of this battle. Just because you really can't do anything to hit them at that time. Even this attack is kind of a time waster, because you can usually only get like 1 or 2 hits in. Alright, Phase 3. We got plenty of time left. Alright, story-wise for the Profound Darkness, do you want the spoiler version or not? Let me know what version you want me to tell here. Alright, so Profound Darkness. The basic idea behind it is the Photoners were looking to create a clone of Shion to help them with their knowledge of photons and seeing the future and everything else like that. And the Profound Darkness was one of those attempts at creating that copy of Shion. Ultimately, however, what had ended up calculating was that the best way to deal with everything was to eliminate all photons in the universe. And so the Photoners had to deal with it, and the way that they dealt with it was they basically created a vessel that would house all of their photons, essentially. And they sent it at the Profound Darkness, and that allowed them to seal the Profound Darkness away. Profound Darkness was then unsealed through Matoibiel and the Anga Fundage. Now, there are other parts to this here that are going to be revealed in Episode 6 that are going to clear up even more of the details around the Profound Darkness. But that's the basic story right now that's kind of available through the North American version as it is at this time. Alright, yeah, this one was always kind of tricky to deal with if you didn't have a good move that would let you move around quickly. Alright, Stir Fry is gone, that's fine. We still got half an hour, plenty of time to take this guy out. I will say I am starting to run out of mates here, but hopefully I'll still be able to make it through this okay. I do have my Haku Senju in case I need it. Kind of. They have access... Well, Shion has access to what's known as the Akashic Record, which is a record of everything past and future within the universe. Xiao is yet another copy of Xion. So I'm not sure if you're able to see that or not, but as he's doing that laser attack, he has little line sights that come out, and that's how I'm able to avoid those attacks. I think I'm probably just going to stick to the Lightning Espada going forward, in the interest of trying to not waste any more of my mates here. Ooh, that was a big attack. Lightning Espada, or switching to this every now and then for healing. Alright, he's down again. Unfortunately, auto-targeting targeted the wrong thing. Alright, still got plenty of time, 25 minutes. Alright, the music has changed over, so that's a good sign. Now we need to keep doing damage until we can force it into the next phase. So we're going to keep targeting the bits to bring down the head to the platform. Okay, they're doing a big energy ball. We got to stay away from that. And let's keep on the bits. Watch the pillars. Okay, only got a few left. And they're sending out those energy balls now. There we go, it's coming down. Let's do as much damage as we can. So once again, they are sending out the energy balls. It's probably safest for me to just use Sonic Arrow at this point here. Okay, here we go. We're moving into the next phase. Let's pop the Photon Blast. And let's just do a bunch of dodge step attacks. This is where I'm expecting to go down because there's a really tight DPS timer on this here. And it is timed for 12 players rather than a single player. So honestly, I'm not expecting to clear this. I'll still give it a try though. Alright, time's up. So, yep, this is why I brought the half doll. And let's use that to get ourselves back up. And once again, let's get on those bits. Ooh, nice hit. Alright, looks like we just got 4 left. Come on, let's get these down. Actually, I might be able to attack the head. Yeah, here we go. Again, I still have to be kind of careful here because I am running out of trimates at this point. Okay, there's the last of the bits. They're coming down. Let's do as much damage as we can now. And let's keep the attack up. Can't have much health left at this point. Yep, there we go. Xiao saying he's just about out as well. Unfortunately, these bits are drawing away the damage I'm trying to do here. We got about 20 minutes left. There's still plenty of time left here. Come on, get your head down. Let me repop my boosters at this point. Alright, the bits are done for again. Crosscut. And let's keep the damage up. Here come those energy tornadoes. And down goes the profound darkness. Alright, so, once again, yeah, Navarius is, basically saved here. Alright, that is a solo kill on the Profound Darkness.
Completed.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a, I don't know, like a whale or something, if I had to guess. Alright, let's get back up to the gateway ship. And that was a very successful attempt. Alright, let's see what we got for the spoils here.
Leave it to me. good look at it.
Oh, Rooks, you just redeemed secrets! Alrighty, give me one moment here.
I got a good look at it. Oh, this is a great
What do you
find.
require?
Alright, I want to refill my mates.
Don't forget to prepare before setting off. Thank you very much.
And let's collect on the Arks missions. Alrighty. Alright, I've been preparing for this. I knew this was going to eventually happen, so... Here is the list of triggers I currently have available. Which one do you want to see? Is there any way I can make them bigger? Yeah, jellyfish. Once we figure out what trigger we're gonna do, we'll do that next. Alright, I've got, Defense Operation Incursion trigger, I've got Defense Operation Despair trigger, Manifested Planet Breaker, Drawn to Darkness, Virtual Planet Battle Training, and Destroyer Barren Blossom. That's the one that we just did. Let's see. One second. I'm trying to see... in, Twitch, where I can see that got redeemed. One second. Okay, yeah. Manifested Planet Breaker. So that's going to be Magatsu, then. So, for that one, I'm actually going to head over to a busier block. And... I'm going to invite other players into this. And let me also alert the team as well here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Were you aware that, that ship transfers are available now? That was just added with this, very recent patch here. Let's see if anybody's actually on right now. I don't know if any of them would actually be able to get into the block or not. Gotcha. Okay. Alright, before I forget this time, why don't I go ahead and head into the team room and let's grab the attack buff. Alright, let's go ahead and get this set up here. Alright, so we're going to accept this. Yeah, extremely hard. Wanted to make sure it was on the right mode. Okay.
Good luck.
Alright, looks like we've already got a second player in here. Alright, let's let everybody know. The economy is not that crazy just yet here. It's still being built up. But I mean, I'm starting to make some bank with my own stuff. I showed this off earlier. A lot of these are costumes I picked up at around 100 to 200,000 Meseta. And now they're just selling for a lot now. But that's because they're no longer available. In terms of things like top sellers, of course, you got your dances. Let's see here. Cheer Dance is at 18 million. Merry-Go-Round is about 10 million. Aqua Raiment is over 12 million. Let's see here. Flower Garden's actually selling for a lot right now. Recycle badges are at about 140,000 right now. Most of the Nemesis and Slave weapons, though, are selling for tens of millions. Alright, let's send out another notification. And up in the shopping plaza again as well.
Welcome.
Yeah, no titles for getting a solo kill on Profound Darkness. That's going to come later once the actual solo trigger comes out. Alright, we got about half the players we're going to need here. I mean, we technically don't need a full party, given how overpowered everyone is, but it's always nice to have a full group.
I've been expecting you.
Let's see here. I'm good on that. Let's go ahead and grab that client order real quick. That one as well, and that one. Don't need these right now since we're going to be going back to other things after this. No, this trigger just does the first fight.
Good day, mate.
All right. We're at 8 now.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Actually, it's been a little while since I've updated you on the number of titles I've got. As of right now, I am currently at 440 titles. And I think the last one actually came from getting 10 kills on the Profound Darkness.
Welcome.
Yeah, this one here. Now, there are other titles that I've finished up here. If I go under quests here, I've finished up doing everything I'm going to need within the Heaven and Hell or Heaven and Earth extreme quests, so I just got to get back to doing the other main 3 at some point to get those titles together.
Thank you very much.
Alright, we'll give this a couple more minutes, and then if nobody else joins, we'll get this started. Wonder if there's anybody hiding out down here. Alright, I'll say it.
Need something? Welcome. Well, hello there. See you
Did you
around.
bring a bunch?
All right, after this one, we'll do the last call, and then we'll get this started. Yeah, they've been trying to grab my attention for a while. Ease them in. Oh. Let's see. I'll say that in the team chat, letting them know thankful they're that they could join. All right, so one more minute here. Yeah, I thought they were trying to do there an explosion. Actually, if anything, if they could combine that with Fomeglion, they'd actually have a pretty good look on that. Alright, let's send out the last call message. Alright, so put it here. Whoop. And then one more time in the shopping area. And that covers the range. We'll give everybody a moment. Okay, we got one more player in. We're probably going to be okay at this point here. So, we'll head into the gateway ourselves now at this point. And I'm going to grab a Shift to Drink Premium 2. There's no specific order to breaking them, but attacking enemies out in the area before the boss area can help with the drops that come from the boss. Generally, you don't want to just rush the boss. You want to at least spend a little time out in the area before that. Okay, actually up at 11 players now. Yeah, if you check it, if you just head straight for the boss, you're only going to get like 4 to 6 drops. If you spend some time in the area before, you're going to get like 12 to 15 drops usually. Alright, let's get this going.
Your mission is to defeat Magatsu. Luck will flow through all of
Sixth Sense, the bugs that have been happening are specifically with the Microsoft Store, and this is something that's affecting not just only this game, but other games like Minecraft Dungeons and things like that. There's no fix as far as I'm aware, except if you were to use the tweaker to install things instead. So if you're willing to go down that path, then that would be how you would be able to get the game installed without having to go through the Microsoft Store. Just look up PSO2 Tweaker if you're interested in going through that route. Alright, so since I'm a melee, I'm going to head up to the cannons first here. And we're going to take out its knees.
incoming alert.
Everything okay there, Rooks? Alright, they are down. I'm going to start going after the side heads now. That'll open up the other platforms.
I bestow upon you now my divine protection.
Usually they'll kneel a second time, but sometimes they don't. It doesn't look like they are kneeling, so I'm going to hop off. Gotcha. One moment. I will, I'll post that, myself once we're done with this fight. Actually, I guess there's no rush. I can do it real quick here. Tweaker. Slayer. We want North American... Here we go. I should be able to post it. There we go. Back to this now. Alright, we still need to open this up over here.
I bestow upon you a
There we go.
blessing.
Ooh, had a little lag spike there. Alright, now for the main face.
Failure report received.
Man, North American gamers have this so much easier than the Japanese did back in the day. You were basically required to go through these trials and complete them successfully if you wanted to be successful in this fight. I remember the first week this came out, it was a complete disaster. Like, only one... It was like the percentage rate only got up to like 4% completion. Alright, down they come. And we got the music change. Alright, they are about to head into the sky. And down they go.
Success confirmed. Return when able.
Completed.
Alright, let's see here. So, with that, I've been going for about 2 hours here. What I want to do is I want to quickly switch over to the challenge blocks. And we're going to see if we can get into a group with some other players. But in the meantime, I'm going to hit a quick 3 to 5 minute break here, and then we will check that out. So please stand by, everyone. I will be right back. Oh, jellyfish! You're right. I apologize. Let's do that first, and then I'll take that break. All right. So let me go through the build that I have here.
What would you like to do?
All right. So the hunter tree that I have here, everything along the top is taken, and then I've got the Arms Enthusiast, Guard, and Sidestep. Those are given to you automatically. Then I've got Hunter Focus Boost and Perfect Guard. I think that one's given to you automatically as well. And then I have 2 points in Sidestep. Then we have Charge, Parry, Perfect Counter, and Sidestep Strike. That one is given to you, as well as Perfect Recovery. Now, I have Sword Focus and Wired Lance Focus. I don't have Partisan Focus. I don't use that weapon enough to make it worth it. Materia Smasher, yes. Anytime there's an emergency or an urgent quest, you definitely want to be using 250% boosters, because what happens is once you're either in super hard or extra hard mode, you're going to start getting 10 to 12 star drops happening very quickly at that point. The 10 and 11 stars are going to convert into X cubes, which you can then purchase another 250% boost at a rate of 6 X cubes per. And it just kind of becomes this snowball effect once you get it going. Alright, so aside from the 2 focuses here, I've also got All Guard, which allows me to guard on all sides. There's still a good number of players in the game, but we are kind of in a little bit of a lull with the player base, just because players are waiting for Episode 4 to come out now. You do want to be saving up some of your X cubes as well, just because eventually there are going to be weapons that come out that are going to require a certain number of X cubes as part of the purchase price. I think there's one out there that uses 400 X cubes, and then there's another one that will be coming later on, which will actually use class X cubes, which you get from leveling up your class over and over and over. Perfect Attack Bonus 1 is at 10 points, Guard Stance is at 3 points, and that way I can get down to Automate Half at 10 points and Hunter Physique at 5, and then the rest of my points go through the entire Fury tree here. So Fury Stance, 10 points. Perfect Attack, 10 points. Critical Fury, 5 points. Perfect Fury, 10 points. Fury Stance, 1 and 2 up, 5 points in those as well. It's gonna be around the time of episode 5, actually. I think it's when you convert one of the Atlas weapons into the Atlas X weapons. I think that's when you use those X cubes. So we're kind of a ways away from that right now. So really, there's no reason for anybody to not be walking around without a stack of rare drop rates here. I've got 40 myself, and in fact, I'm probably gonna have to refresh that fairly soon. As for the fighter tree for you jellyfish, since I'm not taking advantage of the fighter as my main, that kind of changes how I use this tree. So melee power 1, 2, 3, and dexterity up. I take those to 10 points each. And then I've got Valiant Strike at 10, Valiant Stance up at 5, Valiant Critical at 5. Adrenaline has a point in it. Tech Art's Perfect Attack bonus has 5 points. Combo Variant's Perfect Attack Photon Point Save has 5. And then I have 3 points in Deadline Slayer, so I can get down to Photon Slayer, 10 points in there, and that gives me an extra 200 attack power whenever my Photon points fall below 50% of what the max is. So does that tree make sense to you? And then I also have 5 points in the HP up 2 here. Just because I didn't know what else to do with those points. It's either going to be that, or is it going to throw them into the Sidestep Plus. The skills I use?
Feel free to stop by anytime.
So, the main way I use my sword here, is I've got... let's see here. I've got Twister Drop on my middle button, Rising Edge on my right button, and then for the back palette, I have Sonic Arrow, Nova Strike, and Guilty Break. And then I also have active abilities on my sub-palette. So I have Resta, which I can use through the one of the weapons I have. That is built into the Haku Senju version 2. You don't need to be a Tekker class to be able to use that, because it's built into the weapon itself. And then if I'm ever on guard stance, in the future I'm going to be picking up Warcry. And then I've got Hunter Physique here, Blaze Parry, Shifta, Soul Atomizer here. If we ever get the Beach Shade, I'm going to replace that with Anti instead. I have Trimate here, but that's more just as, like, an emergency if for some reason my Automate doesn't trigger for some reason. Then I've got Crosscut here, Moon Atomizer, and Julius Proy, which is one of the mag attacks. And then that's pretty much my build. The way I'm set up currently, my melee power is 3,700. That includes a tree attack buff, though. Alright, cool. Alright, so as I mentioned a moment ago, let me get over to the challenge blocks, and then I will start my break, at which point then we'll rejoin, and hopefully we're able to get into a challenge quest at that point. So, please stand by, everyone. I will be right back with you in just a few minutes here.